Hi folks, I had a message from Anna saying I've followed many watercolour artists over the years and I've never seen a watercolour palette like yours. This is quite a common comment I get on YouTube. I was always taught to keep colours pure and clean and brushes clean, otherwise you'll end up with mud. However, you've kicked that theory up in the air. I don't see any mud in your paintings at all. You're very brave in your work, whereas I'm always tentative because I know that watercolours are hard if you want to put a mistake right. You've given me a different idea on how I can approach watercolour, perhaps be a bit more brave with it in the future. I've spoken several times in the past about creating mud on palettes, keeping colours pure and all this, and it really is, it's a little bit of a myth, to be honest, about how you can have to keep your palette clean. I mean, I haven't cleaned my palette for about 10 years. It's really not necessary. I can still, even if the colours are contaminated, because maybe it's just because I'm using a large height brush, I don't know, but I can get enough colour of the colour I want on the brush without it being a problem, even if there's a little bit of another colour on it, if you know what I mean. And mixing as well. If I just want to mix a couple of colours, it doesn't matter if they've got a bit of brown or a bit of blue on it, it doesn't matter, because it's such a big brush and it holds so much water and paint on it. It's not getting diluted by that contaminated colour, if that makes sense. I think maybe if you're doing like realism or something like that, nothing like while I'm just doing impressions, really, sort of semi-abstract impressions. So the colours don't have to be 100% pure. As long as they're sort of there or thereabouts, I can get away with it. I think in terms of being brave in your work, I think whatever you're painting, whatever medium or subject, I think being brave is an important factor anyway. She says she's always tentative because she knows watercolour are hard if you want to put a mistake right. Again, if you're doing really clean, tight paintings, especially things like realism and whatnot, I can see where she's coming from. My style, it's not really a problem, because they're sort of semi-abstract in the first place, and you can get away with it. A lot of the detail in my paintings happens by accident. It's not even planned. So if I do make a mistake, sometimes it even looks intentional. It never looks that much of a mistake because it's sort of semi-abstract to start with. You really can get away with, which is maybe why I might appear more brave than what I actually am. I don't know. But yeah, you've given me a different idea now. I can approach watercolours. Yeah, I mean, I think the more different approaches, the more different techniques and ways of painting certain elements, the better. Really, the more strings you got to your bow. The more ways that you're aware of that you can approach things and repair things, the less brave you need to be. So, as always, it's just a matter of practice.